I told myself that I would not be making videos in the morning because I feel puffy. I stumble so much more on my words for some reason. But now we're here because I don't have time to film otherwise. Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my October TBR where I will be reading whatever I want. This is sort of becoming a tradition. It's the third year now it's happening, where every October I decide to not do any TBR games, not participate in any readathons, and just focusing on reading whatever I want. Now, of course, I read whatever I want every month. Yes, I might have set TBRs. Yes, I might be participating in readathons. I used to be fairly good at sticking to pre-decided TBRs. Recent months, I'm still fairly good at sticking to my stack, but I have very unreasonable stacks in comparison to what I'm actually reading now. But yeah, every October I've been saying no to everything and I'm focusing on just reading things I want, getting through some of my yearly projects if I would like that, and so on. I know that there's a bunch of fun readathons happening in October. I feel like taking October off in my reading is perfect, and it usually works. It sets me up for the rest of the year, the final 2 months, November, December, and also, as I said, it gives me an opportunity to catch up on things. So I'm just gonna chat about some of the books I hope to read. Some are for vlogs I hope to do. Some are just books some are just books that I'm really itching to get to. Once again, this is a very unreasonable stack. Don't think I will be reading all of these books in October, but it's just for reference. It's just for me to consider what I might read and get excited about it. Oh, and I need to mention, there's one book I must read in October because I was asked by the Enchanted book club to co-host their October book. The Enchanted book club is a book club hosted by some of my closest booktube friends, and they have like a theme for every month, and I believe the theme for October is Murderous October. So we asked for recommendations for thriller books or books with murderous vibes, I guess, and then we made a poll of that, and the winner of the poll was The Sanitarium by Sarah Pierce. So this is a book I actually need to read in October. I don't know where to get it yet. I think I need to look if it's available as an ebook on my Kobo. I'm so glad that they asked me to join them for this round. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That's a book I must read. That's the one. And that one has October vibes, I guess. So, we're good. Another book I kind of must or hope to read, and this is to complete a vlog I'm working on, is The Living by Isaac Marion. This is the final book in the Warm Bodies series. It's the fourth book chronologically, but the third book in the series because one of them is a prequel. I've been reading these books throughout the fall, I guess, like since August, and I'm currently reading second book in the series, Burning World. I'm very close to finishing it, so I should finish it now in September actually. I just once again need to find the time. But once I finish that, I plan on picking up The Living so that I can actually complete this series, complete this vlog, and move on with my life. I am really enjoying the books, so that's not what I'm saying, but I had hoped to finish all of these in August, and we're getting into October now, which is still fine. I'm having a good time with them. If you don't know, Warm Bodies takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where there are zombies. R, the main character, is a zombie. He meets Yuli, who is a human, and things start to happen in this society. I've really been enjoying the sequel, Burning World. Like, I really have. So I'm excited to continue with the series, but The Living is also one I really hope to read in October. Speaking of vlogs, there is a vlog that I would love to do. I would love to do a vampire themed vlog. Not vampire theme, but like reading books featuring vampires. So I'm gonna show some options that I do hope to read, and I will also show them in the order of priority. So I have a few books here, and I have another ideas of what I would like to read, but I don't own them physically. I've had multiple ideas for this vlog. One has been to read recent releases of vampire books, because I do feel like there's a bunch of vampire books popping up now. So like doing a "Are vampires coming back?" sort of video, but I don't think I have enough books for that. Or I might need to buy some more in order to be able to do that. And I also just have other books featuring vampires on my shelves. So I might just read general vampire books, but like a mix of genres. In order of priority, the first book I really hope to read, no matter what, in October, is The Reluctant Vampire Queen by Joe Simmons. I got this from Helen for my birthday, and I'm so excited about it. I saw it in a bookshop. I think it sounds so much fun. About a young woman who is a vampire vegetarian, and she wants to become the vampire queen of Great Britain. And it seems very contemporary-ish. We have like a pros and cons list here. It's a role offered to her on a random Tuesday evening in October by Bogdan, an undead creature of the night in a dodgy suit who may or may not have jumped out of a hedge. Okay, I actually have no clue what it is about, but it sounds like it can be a lot of fun, and I need fun. So this is like highest priority on my vampire list, actually. The next book I want to read is The Lights of Prague by Nicole Jarvis. I got this from my friends last year, I think, for my birthday, and they told me that they want me to read this one during the autumn because they feel like it could match the vibes. So I've been saving this for this part of the year, and now I should get to it. They bought it because it's red, black and white, the cover, and obviously that's my color scheme. And then also because it takes place in Prague, I have a connection to Prague, or to Czech. In the quiet streets of Prague, all manner of mysterious creatures lurk in the shadows. Unbeknownst to its citizens, their only hope against the tide of predators are the dauntless lamplighters. Dominik Miska leads a life teeming with fraught encounters with the worst kind of evil, piavis, bloodthirsty and soulless vampiric creatures. From like doing research about this book and just looking through the plot, it seems like vampires are featured in the story, but I'm not that entirely certain what it is about. It looks stunning. It will go with the autumn vibes, so I am actually quite excited, and it's Prague, and I love Prague. I love Prague so much, so I'm very excited to read about Prague. And then a recent gift, a birthday gift for this year actually, is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I've never read Dracula, and I got this for my birthday, and it's this really cool edition that is this soft leather-bound sort of thing. Dracula! Might as well read Dracula if I'm reading vampire books, right? The final book I have on my shelves that is about vampires is The Beautiful by Renee Audier. It takes place in 1872 in New Orleans. This one was really hyped like 2 or 3 years ago, I think. Like really, really hyped. So that's when I got it. I think it's YA or like new adult. This one is like lowest on my priority list out of my physical options for my vampire TBR. I might be interested to pick this one up. We're gonna have to see. Just to mention a few other vampire books that I have considered to pick up for this video. We have Woman Eating by Claire Coda. I just know that this is a very recent release. It's getting a bunch of hype, and it's about vampires. I'm not too certain what, but it says a young mixed-race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desires to live amongst humans with her incessant hunger. I've heard mostly good things about this one, I think, and the various covers really intrigue me. So I might pick this up, or I might read it as an ebook. We're gonna have to see. Another book I have considered to read is Belle, Mort by Bella Higgin. I believe this is like a YA. It says that there's only one way out of Belle Mort, one of 5 houses where vampires reside as celebrities and humans are played by their living donors. There's only one person who might have the answers I need, and the undeniable pull I feel toward him is terrifying. Edmond Dantes, a vampire and my mortal enemy. I'm not certain. I feel like this one feels quite YA-ish, but it could be fun as well. Please let me know if you have read this one, if you would actually recommend it to me, because this is another new release, but I have not seen people talk about it. So those are the books I have considered to read for my vampire video, if I make one, and this is like in order of priority. Let's talk about a bunch of other books that I just really hope to read that are not vlog related, really. These are just books I'm excited about. Let's start with this one. Babel by R.F. Kuang. I have this gorgeous Illumicrate edition that I just need to show off because I can. I was supposed to read this in September. First of all, my book sort of got lost, or it was stuck in shipping, so I got it much later than I usually get my Illumicrate books, and then I barely read a thing during the second half of September, so I have not had time to pick this one up yet, which is sad because this is my most anticipated book of the year. I should read it in October. I'm hoping I will get to it as soon as I can. What is Babel about? I'm not certain. It's dark academia, BIPOC rep in Oxford about translation. I've only heard great things about this one. I don't think I've seen anyone be that disappointed by the book. I've seen a mix of reviews, but I honestly haven't really heard that many bad things about it at all, which makes me even more excited. My plan at first was actually to make a dedicated review to this book once I've read it, but like everyone and their mother and their dog have been posting reviews for Babel. So I don't know if my review would necessarily contribute with anything. Please let me know if you would like to see like a dedicated review for Babel from me, but there's a bunch out there now from people that are much better at reviewing books. So perhaps that's unnecessary. Another book I would love to read, and I'm realizing that I have a few chunkers on this list, but this one is on multiple of my year-long challenges. It's a book I'm always thinking about reading, and it's a book I just need to get to. And that is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I bought this like at the start of me doing BookTube, which is what, like a while back, basically. Because this was the fantasy series everyone's reading, and it still is. And I've read Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, but I have not actually read Mistborn, Way of Kings, like any of those. So it's time for me to start my Brandon Sanderson journey and at least read the first book in the series. I have this on my 22 books to read in 2022. I have this on my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. Like I have this on a bunch of my year-long challenges. It's another chunker. It's over 600 pages. I've once again only heard amazing things about this book. From what I remember, this is a story that starts out with the idea, what if the bad guy had won? So these characters, this book takes place in the aftermath of that. What if the bad guy had won and now was ruling the empire? I have so many adult fantasies on my shelves and I need to get back into them because I truly do love them, but they do take a bit of an effort, but like it's so worth it. So hopefully this can kickstart my desire to read more adult epic fantasies, because I really want to. I have been reading a bit of fantasy, but it's been like low fantasy, I would say. I've also been reading a lot of literary and contemporary fiction lately, which I do really enjoy, and I do feel like my taste in reading is evolving. I'm broadening my horizons and my taste and all of that, and I am really enjoying reading those literary pieces. But damn it, this is like where my heart truly is. The fact that I haven't really read that much of this, what really makes my heart beat, is, I don't know, it's conflicting. But hopefully, like please, I want to get to this. Help me get to this. I really want to. I just talked about how I've read so much other things than fantasy, and now I'm gonna talk about books that are not fantasy. I have 2 romance books that I'm crazy excited about. I got both of these in September. The first book I'm talking about is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. I got this from Lorena for my birthday, so thank you so much. This is like a sequel, a follow-up to Spanish Love Deception. I loved the Spanish Love Deception. I was obsessed with it this summer. So the fact that I have the sequel now, I'm so excited about it. Like, I loved Love Deception. So this is great. I'm so excited to get to this. I brought it with me on my trip to Rome. Barely read anything in Rome, so that was kind of unnecessary, but like still, I had just received this and I was like, I need to bring it with me. I need to read it ASAP. Second romance book is perhaps not so surprising either. That is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is the Illumicrate Afterlight edition, and it looks really cool. And I read The Love Hypothesis back in February, and I was so surprised by the fact that I loved it. So obviously my expectations are set, and yeah, I'm very excited to get to this too. So we have 2 fun romances to look forward to, hopefully in October as well. And I feel that it will be a nice way to like break off from the darker books. Not that Reluctant Vampire Queen seems like a dark book, but you get what I mean. And then one book I've been saying for months, for basically a year, that I want to read, that I need to read, is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I have not read anything yet by Colleen Hoover. I keep saying like every 3rd month or so that this is the month I'm gonna read Colleen Hoover. I have this one, and also It Ends With Us on my shelf. So like I have a couple of her books, but I have not read them yet. I'm not sure what I think of her. Like she's a very discussed author in like the book community overall. And yeah, like this one was gifted to me by Jane from the Bookaholic last year. I think it was for Christmas. I've been meaning to get to it. I just don't know why I haven't yet. I want to read this so I can start my Colleen Hoover journey and get an opinion about her books, because I just keep hearing things without really knowing things. I want to see what the deal is. Hopefully I can squeeze this in. This is also a book that is on my 12 books to read in 2012. To read Colleen Hoover is one of my bookish goals, I guess. So what this one is about, I think it's like a dark romance or like a thriller with romance in it or something. Those are the books that I mainly hope to read in October. Those are like my main priority because it's books I'm excited about, books I should read ASAP, or books I'm reading for like vlogs and fun videos. As I mentioned, there are a couple of year-long challenges that I'm doing, and I feel like this month would be a good opportunity for me to catch up on those challenges because I really haven't been prioritizing them. We have my 12 books in 2012. On that one, we do have Final Empire and Verity. So if I can read those two, I'm better on my way to actually completing this challenge. I think I've so far only read one out of those 12 books. So not doing the best. We have my 22 books in 2022. This one is a mix of like fantasies and also like books I'm currently reading, books I've started and never finished. Soft DNFs is what I believe people call it. We have Sapiens on this one. Like I have since this summer, I think, or no, since the spring, and especially after my trip to Rome, I've been so much more interested in like history and like just how humans have evolved and such. So I am really inclined to read Sapiens. I started this one like 3 or 4 years ago, and I read a third of it, and I remember really enjoying it actually and learning a bunch, but then I never continued, and now I'm stuck in this thing where I will never pick it up again. I think I should reread it and annotate it just to actually remember shit. I want to read more nonfiction, I want to read more history, and just understand better how the world works and how we ended up where we are, both in regards to religion and arts and like war and all of that. It is really interesting. Is this a sign of me growing up that I want to study history? Is this what happens when you get old? I want to continue with this. I do. I don't think I will prioritize it, especially if I compare to the other books that I really want to read in October. But like, it's there. It's in the back of my mind. I want to get to it. Just to mention a couple of other books, I probably won't get to them at all. But hey, as I was saying, this is an open TBR. I can read whatever I want. So suddenly I might get the urge to pick these ones up. I have Book Thief and Percy Jackson. These are both borrowed from a friend, and I've had them for way too long that it should be acceptable, and I should return them to her. Probably won't read them in October, but it's a good reminder for me to remember that, well, I need to read those books so I can return them. Another challenge I'm doing is the Goodreads reading challenge, basically where I try to read some of the winners and nominees for the Goodreads Choice Awards of last year, so 2021. I've done fairly well, actually. I haven't actively been working on this challenge, but I've read a bunch of the winners, which surprised me. Like, I'm saying I will take it easy in October, and then I have this huge ass stack in front of me, so I don't really know how to take that. But all I know is this is actually a group of books that I'm really excited about and I do want to read, so hopefully I will actually get to it. The main focus for me in October will be to not pressure myself, to read whatever I want. I enjoy having October as a free month. It has really worked out the previous years, so hopefully it can help me now with my little slump. I mean, I'm not slumping because I don't want to read, I'm slumping because I'm way too busy, which is kind of worse, I feel like. It's this thing where I want to read, but I'm just either constantly tired or I don't have time because I work a lot and then have plans and have other commitments. It sucks. It does suck, actually. I would love to have an extra day each week where I could just curl up in my sofa and read a good book. But hopefully this stack will help me to prioritize that in October. Please let me know if you have read any of these books and what books you think that I should prioritize. Like, it's very open. I don't know which one to start with. And also, perhaps if you would like to see any dedicated video or review to either one of these books, let me know. I would actually love to do like a full-on review for a single book. It's been a while since I did that, so let me know if you would like to see that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes